Welcome back to the BookCast. Today we are unpacking every layer of the incredible novel, The Three Musketeers. Get ready for a deep dive into his characters, themes, and the hidden meanings behind the story. All right, let's get into this amazing world Alexandre Dumas built. I mean, from page one, you're not just reading, you're there.
Absolutely. It's 1625 France. Then cloaks, swords, secrets. It's all happening.
Yeah, Dumas doesn't ease you in, does he? He just throws you right into the middle of 17th century Paris. You can almost like smell the streets and hear the horses.
You really can. And it's not just a backdrop. It's alive. The tension, the honor culture. It's palpable. It sets the stage perfectly for, well, everything that follows.
And it feels so real because Dumas weaves in actual history.
He does brilliantly. The preface mentions him finding these supposed memoirs of Monsieur d'Artagnan. Whether that's true or not, it grounds the story.
So we've got King Louis XIII.
Yep, Louis XIII, apparently often bored, a bit melancholic, maybe not the strongest personality on the throne.
But still the king.
Technically, yes, but the real power, or at least a huge chunk of it, belongs to Cardinal Richelieu. He's, formidable.
And the era itself was just chaotic.
Oh, absolutely. Full of conflict, internal strife, people arming themselves against robbers, even the king's authority sometimes. But interestingly, never against the cardinal, apparently. Plus, constant simmering tension with other countries.
So it's just ripe for adventure and sword fights.
Exactly. It's a world practically begging for intrigue and action. It pulls you right in.
And stepping into this chaos is our hero, D'Artagnan.
Ah, yes. Young D'Artagnan from Gascony.
From Bern, specifically. Shows up in Paris, probably looking a bit rough around the edges, but full of dreams.
Big dreams. He wants to be a king's musketeer, nothing less.
And he arrives with, what was it?
Yeah.
His father's gifts?
That's right, his vade mecum, his essentials, 15 crowns, which isn't much.
A horse.
A rather memorable yellowish horse. Not exactly a noble steed at first glance.
And the crucial letter, right? The introduction to Monsieur de Treville.
The most important piece. He's got all this youthful idealism, maybe a bit naive, but also this fiery Gascon temper.
Which gets him into trouble pretty fast. But that advice from his father is key, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It shapes his whole approach. What was it again?
Endure nothing from anyone but from the cardinal and the king. And the part about courage.
Remember well that it is by courage, and by courage alone, that a nobleman makes his way today. That's not just fatherly advice. That's a survival guide for that world.
It tells you everything about the hierarchy, the importance of honor, of defending yourself.
Exactly. How do you survive, let alone thrive, with that kind of confrontational code in a world of subtle court politics? It's a fascinating setup for his character arc.
And they even compare him to Don Quixote.
They do. But where Quixote saw giants and windmills, D'Artagnan sees an insult or a challenge in everything. He's ready to draw his sword at the drop of a hat.
Which is both a flaw and a strength, I guess.
Precisely. It gets him into endless scrapes, but it also pushes him forward. It's central to who he is.
So his arrival isn't exactly smooth sailing. That whole incident in Meung.
Ah, yes. The gentleman in the violet doublet.
Who we later find out is Rochefort.
Right. But at this point, he's just this arrogant guy who makes fun of D'Artagnan's horse.
His Bern pony. And D'Artagnan being D'Artagnan.
Takes offense immediately. Challenges him, gets knocked out, and loses the letter, his most valuable possession.
Talk about a rough start.
But what's fascinating is that this isn't just a random bad day. This incident is the catalyst.
How so?
Well, it's his first real humiliation, yes, but it also introduces Rochefort and, crucially, the mysterious woman with him, Milady.
Milady. We'll definitely be talking more about her.
Oh, indeed. So this fight, the stolen letter, the desire for revenge against this gentleman, that's what drives D'Artagnan from this point on. It sets everything in motion. It's not just a personal slight. It becomes tangled up in all the bigger intrigue.
Okay, so after licking his wounds, he finally makes it to Paris proper, to Monsieur de Treville's place.
Femme de Treville, captain of the Musketeers, a legend in his own right. Loyal to the old king, Henri IV, and now to Louis XIII.
And his waiting room sounds like quite the scene.
It really does. Dumas describes it as buzzing, chaotic, full of these boisterous musketeers, always ready for action, full of swagger. A very different vibe from the Cardinal's guards.
Right. That rivalry is huge, isn't it?
Absolutely central. It's not just professional jealousy, it's deep-seated animosity. It's basically the king versus the cardinal played out by their guards on the streets.
And Richelieu is called the first king of France.
Yes, the text suggests his power often eclipsed the king's. He even tried to make his guards rival the king's musketeers in prestige and discipline.
So Treville's Musketeers were the wild ones.
A devil dare legion, perfectly undisciplined, is how Dumas puts it, I think. Loyal to the king, but rebellious. The cardinal's guards were seen as more clever, quieter, more controlled by Richelieu.
That contrast is a lot about the power dynamics at court, doesn't it?
It really does. It shows Richelieu trying to control everything, even the symbols of power, subtly undermining the king while pretending deference.
And Treville, he's caught in the middle.
He is. He has to publicly scold his men for brawling or getting arrested by the cardinal's guards.
But secretly, he's proud of them.
Exactly. He admires their bravery and loyalty. It's this complex, almost fatherly relationship he has with them.
So D'Artagnan finally gets his audience, but his introduction to the actual Musketeers is memorable.
Memorable is one word for it. Clumsy, maybe. Hilarious.
He literally runs into Athos first, right? The mysterious wounded one.
His injured shoulder. Naturally, Athos challenges him to a duel.
Then he spots Porthos.
The flamboyant one. And D'Artagnan makes a comment about his fancy sword belt, the baldric, suspecting it's not gold all the way around.
So duel number 2.
Duel number 2. And then Aramis, the elegant, seemingly pious one.
D'Artagnan accidentally reveals he dropped a lady's handkerchief.
A definite no-no. So that's duel number 3, all scheduled for the same afternoon.
It's almost like a comedy routine.
It is. But what happens next is pure genius. These individual duels, they never happen.
Because the cardinal's guards show up.
Led by Jussac. They try to arrest everyone for illegal dueling.
And suddenly, it's not D'Artagnan versus Athos, Porthos and Aramis separately.
No, suddenly it's the 3 musketeers and D'Artagnan against the cardinal's 5 guards.
And D'Artagnan doesn't hesitate?
Not for a second. He famously says something like, "I don't have the uniform, but I have the spirit. I'm a musketeer in my heart."
And jumps into the fight.
Throws himself right in. And he fights brilliantly. He even wounds one of the guards who'd hurt Athos earlier.
Calling out the hits. One for Athos, one for Porthos.
One for Aramis and one for me. It's an incredible moment. That's where all for one for all is truly born.
It's about choosing sides, proving yourself.
Exactly. He earns their respect right then and there through pure courage. It cements their bond instantly. It's just fantastic storytelling.
So news of this brawl gets back to the king.
Of course. And Louis XIII apparently easily bored and loving a good fight story. He's kind of amused.
Which Treville totally uses to his advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Treville plays it perfectly. Defends his men, praises D'Artagnan's bravery against the cardinal's guys, makes the king feel like his side won. Classic Treville move, public scolding, private pride.
And this really highlights that weird relationship between the king and cardinal again.
Definitely. Louis's boredom, his need for excitement, made him susceptible to flattery about heroism. Richelieu knew this and played on it while constantly working to undermine anyone who might challenge his own influence.
Especially the Queen, Anne of Austria.
Precisely. Richelieu saw her as a major threat. Her Spanish background, her potential influence, and especially her connection to the Duke of Buckingham.
Ah, yes, the Duke.
The cardinal was obsessed with proving something was going on there, trying to discredit her. It was all part of his power play, a very dangerous game at court.
And right in the middle of this, D'Artagnan meets Madame Bonacieux.
His landlord's wife. Charming, loyal to the queen, and way over her head.
She works for the Queen.
Yes, as a confidant, a messenger. And she tells D'Artagnan that the cardinal is actively persecuting the queen, trying to trap her because of Buckingham.
She seems so innocent in all this.
She is, which makes her incredibly vulnerable. Why would the queen risk so much for this connection?
It was a past romance, right? With Buckingham.
Yes, a former lover. And the cardinal suspects it deeply, sees it as the perfect leverage to expose and ruin her. Madame Bonacieux, through her loyalty, becomes a key pawn.
And then she gets kidnapped.
By Rochefort, the man with the scar from Meung. It all connects. D'Artagnan manages to rescue her.
Which pulls him deeper into the Queen's problems.
And deeper into feelings for Madame Bonacieux herself. His affection for her becomes a huge motivator. He's no longer just seeking adventure. He's protecting someone he cares about. And by extension, the Queen.
Which leads us to the diamonds.
The diamond studs. The centerpiece of the intrigue.
The Queen gave them to Buckingham.
As a gift.
12 of them, a very personal keepsake symbolizing their bond. And the king, prompted by Richelieu, of course, tells her to wear them at a ball. All 12 of them. Suddenly, it's a crisis. She needs them back from London fast.
And D'Artagnan is the man for the job.
The only man. It's a desperate race against time, against the cardinal's spies. The queen's honor, maybe even her life, is on the line. The tension is incredible.
And Milady gets involved here too.
Oh, yes. Richelieu sends her to England specifically to steal 2 of the studs from Buckingham to make sure the queen can't produce all 12.
She's his top agent, basically.
Absolutely ruthless and effective. But what's amazing is Buckingham's reaction.
He helps D'Artagnan.
He puts the queen's honor above everything. He actually imposes an embargo, stops all ships leaving England just to buy D'Artagnan time.
Wow. That's quite a gesture.
It shows how deeply he feels for her. Meanwhile, D'Artagnan's journey is perilous. Ambushes, fights. He gets wounded fighting the Comte de Ward at Calais.
But he makes it.
He makes it. Buckingham's jeweler quickly replaces the 2 stolen studs, and D'Artagnan gets back just in the nick of time. So the queen wears all 12 diamonds at the ball.
Triumphantly. A huge victory over the cardinal, thanks to D'Artagnan. His reward, a ring and a kiss on the hand from the grateful queen.
But D'Artagnan can't leave Milady alone, can he? He's curious.
He is. Intrigued, maybe attracted, definitely suspicious. He tries to get closer to her, tries to seduce her even.
And he finds the brand.
The fleur-de-lis branded on her shoulder. The mark of a convicted criminal. A shocking discovery.
And this connects back to Athos.
Devastatingly so, because Milady isn't just some agent. She is Athos's ex-wife.
No way.
Yes, the woman he branded himself years ago for her crimes. Bigamy, betraying his family, it's the source of all his hidden pain and melancholy.
That changes everything.
Completely. D'Artagnan suddenly sees she's not just an enemy, she's truly evil with this dark, hidden past. It explains so much about Athos, too, his sadness, his silence. It's a massive twist.
Wow. Okay, so after all that drama, things get practical. The Musketeers need money.
Yeah. The king declares a military campaign, the siege of La Rochelle is looming, and suddenly our heroes need cash for equipment. Horses, armor, valets. War is expensive.
Even for Musketeers.
Especially for Musketeers who like to look good. This part really shows their individual personalities, how they hustle.
Like Porthos.
Porthos, Mr. Vanity. He goes after the procurator's wife, Madame Coquenard. She's rich, but famously stingy.
How does he manage it?
Through sheer bravado and subtle manipulation, he basically convinces her it's her duty to outfit him magnificently. He ends up getting 800 livres, a horse, and a mule for his valet, Mousqueton.
He always lands on his feet, doesn't he? It's kind of funny.
It is, and it says a lot about the importance of appearances and status in their world. Porthos knows how to play that game.
And Aramis, he's different,
Oh.
more complicated.
Very much so. He's always torn between the church and the world, isn't he? Doing his theological studies, talking to priests.
But also having secret affairs.
Right. With high-born ladies like Madame de Chevreuse. He gets his equipment funded by his publisher, which is almost certainly a code word for his mistress or other noble patrons.
So he uses his charm and connections.
Exactly. He's adaptable, ambitious, maybe a bit calculating. He navigates both the sacred and the profane to get what he needs.
Really shows they're not just clones of each other, despite the all-for-one motto.
Not at all. They're distinct individuals bound by loyalty, but with their own motivations and methods.
Okay, so they get equipped, and then it's off to the siege of La Rochelle.
A major historical event. The king and cardinal versus the Protestant Huguenots holding the city.
And the English are involved, helping the Huguenots.
Yes, led by Buckingham, which, again, makes it personal for everyone involved.
Why was La Rochelle so important?
For Richelieu, it was crucial to crush this Protestant stronghold, consolidate royal power, and kick out English influence. Pure strategy.
But for Buckingham?
It was partly political, but also deeply personal, a way to support the cause associated with the queen he loved, perhaps even impress her. Personal feelings and politics are completely tangled up.
How do these grand strategies mix with personal vendettas?
That's the genius of the novel. Dumas shows exactly how. D'Artagnan is thrown into the siege, experiences the fighting, gets ambushed.
And he finds out where Madame Bonacieux is.
Yes, he learns she was taken to a house associated with Milady. Another crucial clue. We also see the king making appearances at the camp, sort of rallying the troops.
So the siege isn't just a backdrop, it's where all these threads continue to weave together.
Precisely. Personal destinies, political maneuvers, love, hate it all plays out against this backdrop of war.
And speaking of hate, Milady is back in action.
And more dangerous than ever, she gets that carte blanche from Richelieu.
The blank check to kill D'Artagnan.
Or anyone else who gets in her way. Signed, effectively, by the cardinal, she has total immunity. It's chilling.
But she gets captured in England first.
By her brother-in-law, Lord de Winter. He locks her up. But you can't keep Milady down.
She uses her manipulation skills.
Masterfully. She targets her guard, Felton, a rigid Puritan.
How does she manage that?
She spins this incredible story, paints herself as a persecuted Protestant martyr, suffering under the tyranny of the lustful Duke of Buckingham. She even fakes a suicide attempt.
It's terrifying how good she is at twisting things.
It really is. How does she corrupt someone like Felton, someone with such strong beliefs? She plays on his existing hatred for Buckingham, his religious fervor.
And turns him into her weapon.
Exactly. He becomes utterly convinced she's a victim and that Buckingham is evil incarnate.
And he assassinates Buckingham.
Stabs him fatally at Portsmouth. Buckingham's last thoughts are apparently of the Queen. It's a devastating act. Orchestrated entirely by Milady from her prison cell, it changes the course of the war.
Just horrific. And it doesn't stop there, does it? That Amnesia.
Ah, poor Constance. Milady, returning to France, finds out Constance is hiding in a convent in Bethune.
And she goes there.
Yes. And this is where Milady shows her absolute worst cruelty.
How?
She pretends to befriend Constance, offers her help, sympathizes with her as another victim of the cardinal, gains her trust completely.
Only to betray her.
In the most brutal way, just as D'Artagnan and the Musketeers arrive to finally rescue Constance, Milady gives her poisoned wine.
Oh, no.
D'Artagnan finds her dying in his arms. It's utterly heartbreaking. It seals Milady's fate in the eyes of the Musketeers. There's no coming back from that.
They have to get revenge now.
It's not even a question. They hunt her down. D'Artagnan, Athos, Porthos, Aramis, Lord de Winter, and a mysterious executioner joins them.
Where do they find her?
They track her to a secluded house near the River Lys. It's isolated, tense. The final confrontation is coming.
And they hold a kind of trial.
An informal tribunal, but heavy with moral authority. D'Artagnan accuses her of poisoning Constance. Lord de Winter accuses her of killing Buckingham and trying to poison him.
But the biggest reveal comes from the executioner.
The executioner of Lille. He unmasks her completely, reveals her name is Charlotte Backson, confirms she's Athos's ex-wife.
And explains why she was branded.
Yes. She corrupted his brother, a priest, led him into crime. The executioner himself branded her for her betrayals. All the pieces click into place. Athos's past, Milady's identity, it's all laid bare.
It's about inescapable fate, almost. Justice catching up.
Absolutely. Her past finally destroys her. The scene where they lead her to the riverbank, it's grim but powerful. D'Artagnan actually hesitates. He can't bear to watch.
But Athos stops him.
Yes. Athos insists justice must be done. The executioner carries out the sentence. Her reign of terror is over. It's a really dark, unforgettable ending for her character.
So after all that, D'Artagnan goes back to the siege. What happens with Richelieu?
Surprisingly, Richelieu is pragmatic. He knows D'Artagnan led the charge against Milady, his agent, but he recognizes talent.
He doesn't punish him?
No. He gives D'Artagnan the carte blanche Milady had, now blank for D'Artagnan to fill his name in, and offers him a lieutenant's commission in the Musketeers.
Wow. That's cold but smart.
Exactly. Richelieu doesn't waste assets. He basically says, you're useful, join my side, be careful, and you'll be fine. It's not forgiveness, it's strategic recruitment.
And D'Artagnan accepts.
He does, but only after offering it to Athos first.
And Athos refuses.
Famously. He says the commission is too much for Athos, not enough for the Comte de la Fère.
What does that mean?
It means his noble title, his true identity as the Count, is worth more than a mere lieutenancy. Or maybe he just prefers being Athos, the musketeer. It shows his character perfectly.
So D'Artagnan taking the commission, is that him changing, becoming more part of the system?
It could be seen that way. Moving from reckless adventurer to a more established figure. It marks his rise, definitely, but maybe also hints at the compromises needed for advancement.
What about the others? What happens to Porthos and Aramis after the siege ends?
Their paths diverge, but in ways that fit them perfectly. The siege itself ends with La Rochelle surrendering in late 1628.
So Porthos gets his wish.
He does. He marries the now widowed Madame Coquenard and inherits her fortune 800,000 livres.
That's a lot.
A huge amount. He retires in luxury, just like he always wanted. Even Mousqueton gets his dream of standing behind a fancy gilded coach.
Perfect ending for Porthos. And Aramis. Does he finally join the church?
He does. After a trip somewhere, he takes holy orders, becomes an abbé. Bazin, his valet, must have been thrilled.
So he chooses the spiritual path,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe it's still strategic for him.
With Aramis, you never quite know, do you? But officially, he enters the church.
And Athos.
Athos stays on as a musketeer for a couple more years, serving under D'Artagnan, actually. Still nodal, still quiet, still loyal.
So they all find their own kind of peace.
In a way, yes. Reflecting their core desires, status for Porthos, maybe spiritual influence for Aramis, quiet duty for Athos.
So does all for one, one for all still hold true even when they go their separate ways?
I think the spirit does. Their paths diverge, but the bond they forged, that deep loyalty and understanding, it feels like it endures, even if they aren't fighting side by side every day. It's a testament to that friendship.
And there you have it. The Musketeers, a brotherhood forged in fire and intrigue, whose legend echoes through centuries. As you reflect on their journey, consider this. What contemporary figures or even personal relationships, still operate under that same intense blend of loyalty, ambition, and shifting power dynamics? Thanks for diving deep with us today here on the BookCast.
It was great exploring it all again.
If you enjoyed it, a simple like or subscribe helps the channel out more than you know. Be good and take care.